Hi everyone, welcome to this week's Q&A. Now, you may have noticed at lots of different places like Starbucks and Costa, all the autumn drinks are coming out. You go around the supermarket and advent calendars are out. We've not even had Halloween yet. I mean, I personally think they need to get Halloween done first before they start, you know, putting advent calendars at the checkout. I just think it's not time. It's not time yet. Maybe you think differently, but I don't know. For me, it's a little early, and it kind of stresses me out that I haven't started thinking about the C word yet at Christmas. Anyway, the reason I'm saying this is because it's coming towards winter. The mornings are darker, the nights are drawing in, it's getting a little bit colder. And I've had a lot of questions about how to look after yourself in this time and also make sure that you stay on top of your fitness, how to look after your body throughout this time. So today, our Q&A is almost like a bit of a autumn winter toolkit. So hopefully it's going to be really, really useful and, of course, very relevant as well for this time of year. And then I've also a few personal questions like how I got into my fitness journey. So I'll tell you a little bit about that too. But let's go straight into the questions and talk about this time of year. So as I mentioned, the mornings are getting a little bit darker. So question number one is, how do you keep your energy levels up now the darker mornings and the shorter days are kicking in? Now, it really can zap your energy. And I think it depends on you as a person as well. For some people, it can really, really affect them quite negatively. And for some people, they don't really notice or they're not really too bothered. But what really helps me personally is just sticking to routine. It honestly is like getting up early, doing the classes, moving my body to start the day in the best way possible. And that is the best way to start your day. Move the body and get some feel-good endorphins going around the body. Even if it's just like a morning stretch or a bolt-on workout, just doing something sets the tone for the rest of the day, even if it is dark. I would also say prioritizing your sleep and your nutrition the best you can. Obviously, sleep can sometimes be a bit of a difficult one, particularly if you've got little ones or say you're going through the perimenopause right now and it's something that you're just struggling with. Just control it the best way you can and look after yourself how you can. So control the controllables, good nutrition. So starting with some protein at breakfast, get some complex carbohydrates in there, some healthy fats to keep your energy levels steady. So we're not crashing, having peaks and crashes throughout the day with our energy. Balanced energy is a more balanced mood. And then also light exposure is really important. So when the sun does come up and it is lighter outside, even if it's a bit misty and the sun isn't actually out, just get outside when you can. So that might be a lunchtime walk or doing a meeting where you go for a walking meeting, or you go on your phone, catch up with somebody, or you walk to the shops for your lunch. Anything to signal to your body that it is time to be awake. And then in terms of the movement side of things, obviously I started off by saying work out early. Working out early isn't helpful for everyone. Some people just actually can't or really don't like to work out early in the morning, and that's okay. But just make sure that whatever time you choose, you're sticking to a routine and you're planning your workouts like appointments. So if it's in your diary, you got to show up. Like, you have to show up for you. You are the most important person to show up for out of anyone and everyone. If we can't show up for ourselves, how can we show up for anybody else? So it's really important to, if you put it in your diary, be serious about it and show up for you. And it is really normal to feel less energized, but just keeping to routine and having short, even shorter than normal maybe sometimes, short consistent sessions make a really big difference to your mood and to your stamina and your fitness as you go through winter. So that would be how to really focus on keeping your energy levels up. And I would also say, it's a little bit darker, getting some vitamin D in there will really help as well. And that kind of leads us on nicely to our next question, which is all about how to look after your body and immune system with food and exercise. So with winter coming, how can I look after my body and immune system with food and exercise? So it's all about giving our body what it needs and setting our body up in the best way. Give it the tools that it needs to stay strong and healthy. And that's going to come from your food, your exercise, and your lifestyle. So if we look a little bit deeper into this and talk about food specifically, make sure you're doing these following things. So focus on protein at every meal. So protein, of course, helps with muscle repair. It helps keep you fuller for longer, so we're less likely to grab the quick snacks. And it really supports your immune system too. So we want to be thinking chicken, fish, Greek yogurt, or even plant-based sources like lentils, beans, or soya, whatever you enjoy, tofu. So protein at every meal, that is going to be your primary focus. Secondary focus is colourful vegetables and fruit. They are your friends because they are full of vitamins and antioxidants that will support your immunity as well. So we want a mixture of colours. If you go for the colours of the rainbow, you really can't go too far wrong. So you've got your dark leafy veg, peppers, berries, citrus fruits. Just get all the different colours throughout the day. Then you've got your healthy fats. So things like your nuts, your seeds, avocado, olive oil, because fats actually help the body absorb vitamins and keep your hormones balanced. So fats don't make us fat. Fats are a very, very essential part of our diet. So it's all right eating all of the vegetables and all of the fruit, but if we're not having enough fat, we're not supporting our body to even absorb them properly. So make sure that you are, including that in your meals as well. Vitamin D, as I've already spoken about, it drops in the winter and it's actually really important for your immunity as well. And if you live in a country in the Northern Hemisphere in the winter, like the UK, you don't get enough sun really during the winter times. So you want to think about maybe supplementing in the winter potentially. And of course, staying hydrated. Body needs water. And even if you don't like plain water, what about some herbal tea or sparkling water or no sugar squash, something like that. In terms of exercise, it's about consistency over everything. It doesn't necessarily matter about the length. It all adds up. So it might be shorter sessions. Any movement is good movement. Walking, bodyweight training, HIIT, resistance, yoga, all great. But what I would say is it's really important to make sure you are strength training. So at least a couple of times a week. That is going to keep your muscles strong. It's going to support your joints. And it, of course, it helps with our metabolism. So make sure you're doing that anyway. And some gentle forms of cardio can really help to boost your circulation. If you're not very well, for example, it doesn't overload the body. So if just going on like a walk or something, it can just help clear the mind. Getting out in nature is fantastic. And listening to the body. So this is the time of year when all the colds are going round. COVID's been doing the rounds again recently, hasn't it? So if you're feeling run down, just go for a lighter session. So maybe rather than skipping entirely, unless you really don't feel like it. Sometimes when we're not very well, like if we've got a cold or a flu, we tend to hold a lot of tension in our neck and our shoulders and our upper back without really realizing. So sometimes just doing a bit of a stretch can release that and actually make you feel a little bit better. So listen to your body. And then in terms of lifestyle, other things, sleep, we've spoken about it before. To all the controllables, make sure your room is cool, it's dark. You're staying consistent with your bedtimes. Yes, even at the weekends. So you can have about a half-hour leeway, but any more than that, and you actually push your body into what's called a social jet lag. So every Monday, you're having to basically restart again. So make sure that you've got consistent bed and wake times the best you possibly can. Or, even if you've been awake all night, get up at your normal time. Go to bed at a normal time. It's the best way to help the body. And stress. Stress is a big one and a really big one for our immune system. Let's keep the cortisol levels as low as possible where they need to be anyway. No unnecessary stress. Even just a few minutes of breath work or journaling or brain dumping where you just write everything that's on your mind down on a piece of paper and just get it out of your head can massively, massively help. So these are all things that are going to support your immunity and your body going through the winter months. So I hope that's helpful there. Okay, so next question is, when you've got a cold or you feel run down, is it better to rest completely or still move? So as I mentioned in the last question, it depends. So if you are really you're so ill and you're just not feeling it, rest is better. So say if it's on your chest or you're feeling really feverish or very, very run down, complete rest can sometimes be actually the best thing you can do. And pushing your body or trying to force yourself through workouts just prolongs that recovery time because your body is actually using energy up to get you better. It's pulling all extra resources to try and get you better faster. And by using energy on, say, doing a workout, like you're like, oh no, I'm going to go do an aerobics workout for 20 minutes. Even if you feel absolutely pants and you're not very well, it's just taking that energy away from getting you better. So it's really important to listen to your body. If you've got a bit of a bunged up nose, you're a bit sniffly or a bit low on energy, maybe just change it to some lighter movement, like some walking or power walking or some yoga, Pilates, something like that will actually help boost circulation and boost your mood and not actually overload the body in any way. That can be really, really helpful. So really, you know you best. You know your body best. And sometimes if you're just feeling a little bit under the weather and you've got a bit of a cold, just dialing back, don't train at full intensity. Small movement can just help to keep that consistency, but without you risking overloading your health or putting your recovery at any detriment. If you're really ill, you've got a fever, it's on your chest, or you've got a different kind of illness, maybe it's not a cold, maybe it's something else. Rest is best in those cases. Life feels so busy at the moment and the evenings are getting darker. How do you stay consistent with your workouts when it's so easy to skip them? Now, consistency in winter is all about your mindset and it's all about planning as well. So I schedule appointments like any other appointment. I actually have a separate diary for my workouts. This is my workout diary. I always write them in there every Sunday. Exactly what I tell squaddies. I know I tell you guys every Sunday. They're in there. It's a non-negotiable. It's happening. Some days I might have to flex it. So some days, say if I've put down, oh, I'm going to go on the bike for half an hour and actually really don't feel like doing that. Okay, well, I'm going to go and do something else for half an hour. I'm going to do some aerobics for half an hour. I'm going to do something. I will still show up. And if all else fails, if I have a day that goes to pot, well, I'll just put it on to the next day. If it's in the diary, it's happening. Basically, it's a non-negotiable. I will show up for me, promise myself I'm going to do it. Adapt with your energy, adapt depending on how you feel. Any movement is good. And also focus on the small wins. At the end of each week, I like to do a little reflection. So I plan for the next week. It really only takes me less than 5 minutes. Plan for the next week. I look back at the past week and just kind of focus on the things that went really well as well. Like the things that did go good. I showed up for myself. Good. I said I was going to do 3 strength workouts last week and I did. Fantastic. Did you know what? I actually really enjoyed them. And just focusing on things like that can really, really help. When you focus on the wins, it's a very good way to train your mindset to look for the wins. And people who do that are way more likely to be consistent with their workouts and actually tend to be happier people as well. And you can train your brain to do that, which is why we do Wednesday wins every week. There's reasoning behind it as well. And of course, just to celebrate each other, but it's brain training. So make sure that you are actually doing it. And I keep the environment really motivating as well. So the studio that, where I teach the classes, that's where I do my workouts as well. I keep it tidy. I keep it clean. Even if Will's been in there, I get him to clean his stuff up. But I keep it tidy. I keep it clean. I put the music on, get it, nice and loud and motivational, get the lights on. Just make it fun and make it really good as well for myself. And when I'm away on holiday and I don't have access to say that, what I do is I take my headphones and I really feel like by putting it in my headphones, I fully immerse myself in the workout. So you find your own way, or some people like to have it up on a TV, or some people don't really mind how they do it. But anyway, just make your environment motivating and also easy. So remove any barriers. Just get your equipment laid out the night before. Get your kit laid out for when you come back from work or when you get up in the morning. It's there. There's no excuse. Or get into your kit so then you have to do the workout. Because how awful would it feel if you got in your kit, then took it off and just didn't bother? Like, it'd feel horrendous if you didn't try. So you can do little tricks like that with yourself, and that can really help. And one other thing that I want to say as well is play it forward. So if you do show up for you, even if you don't feel like it, it's a little bit darker, it's a little bit colder. If you don't show up for you, how are you going to feel? And then if you do show up for you, how are you going to feel? And chances are you show up for you and you'll feel amazing for doing it. If you don't show up for you, it just becomes a regret. And then we get stuck in a rut of not showing up for us. So that's what I would say. Consistency is absolute key. Don't worry about being perfect. If you need to flex things a little bit, like the type of workout, the length of workout, whatever, that's totally fine. And just focusing on those little small wins. And if you want to, doing like a little reflection at the end of the week, like I do, just looking back on the workouts that I did that week. I love seeing my workout book with ticks on it. I actually tick it. So you know how you can do that on your online journal? Yep, you're welcome. I love to see a big tick. It's just amazing. It feels good, doesn't it? So that's how you want to do it. And of course, the most important thing is, and I haven't even mentioned this yet, is having that accountability and that support. So having that support in the squad, and there's more of that coming soon. So stay tuned, team. Stay tuned for the Friday email. Just having people to be like, yeah, I get it. I know. Let's do this. Come on. Let's go. Let's do it together. And it's been really nice to see that in the step challenge groups actually as well. Everyone's kind of, what's the word for it? Geeing each other on. Is that a phrase? Anyway, you know what I mean? Encouraging each other, motivating each other. It's really, really wonderful to see. And that is what our squad's all about. It's hard to motivate yourself. It's hard to do it on your own. When you've got other people who in the same situation who get it, you're in it together. It's just the best feeling. And that's what our squad is so amazing at. Just motivating one another, keeping each other accountable and inspiring each other to do something that maybe you wouldn't have done otherwise. So use the squad, use the group, use the Facebook group, use the step challenge groups, and use whatever I'm going to be bringing as well. Anyway, no, but it's really important. Anyone can turn on a YouTube workout or do an MC workout. Anyone can do that. We know we can, but it, it's very, very, very hard to self-motivate yourself to do that and also get any enjoyment out of it too. So anyway, that's how to do it. So a few quick fire questions at the end here, team. How long should you spend on a warm-up? So great question. And the rule of thumb is roughly 10 to 15% of your workout. And what you want to be doing in the warm-up, which is what we do at the squad. So say our workouts are 20 minutes, you'll notice that I pick moves that we are going to do, but I'll do them at like a lesser intensity. So say, for example, if we're doing a weights workout, we'll do the moves that we're going to do, but we'll use a lighter weight. Or maybe we'll even start off with body weight and just get some mobility going. So that's a rule of thumb, about 10 to 15% of your workout wants to be your warm-up. You tailor it back, you warm up the muscles that you're going to be using, and then you're ready to go. So it's just about preparing your body for the workout, and it reduces the risk of injury as well. Do you have any Spotify music playlists that can follow for runs? Gosh, do you know what? That's such a good idea. I don't. So obviously I'm not running at the moment, been 36 weeks pregnant, but I listen to podcasts. It sounds really lame, but that's like my education time. I really love listening to podcasts, and they're always sort of more educational or business podcasts. It's just what I love. So I listen to a lot of like fitness, a lot of health podcasts. And then, I like listening to business podcasts as well. So that's what I do personally. I sometimes listen to music or sometimes switch in between the two. I don't have any particular playlist, but what I would recommend is getting something with a fast beat. So around about roughly 150 beats per minute or 145, around that sort of tempo. And it's really, really good for just keeping you motivated. But yeah, it's really interesting. So if anyone does have any, please share them. Please share them. I'd love to hear them. But no, I don't know. Maybe I should make some though. That might be a little task for maternity. But no, it's a really good question. How did you get into your fitness journey, and what exercise did you first gravitate to? Gosh, okay, I feel like my fitness journey started when I was really quite young. So I grew up with parents who used to work out a lot, and it was really important to them to keep fit and healthy. So my dad did a lot of weight training. My mum was a runner, the marathon runner, a very good one as well. And it was just sort of the norm for us. And growing up, we went to dance classes as kids, and I used to love dance. So I think my thing was through dance. And when I was younger, I used to make up dance routines all the time. And I used to make my sister do them as well. So essentially, I was being an instructor from a very, very young age, teaching her choreographed routines and making her do them. And I used to do that in the living room almost on a daily basis. And I grew up doing that, and then it became a little bit more fitnessy. So I'd introduce like a skipping rope and do a bit of dance and then do a little bit of skipping or do some push-ups, not really knowing what I was doing. Like, this is I'm talking quite a young age here. And then as I got older, I joined a gym with my mum, and we used to go to Group X classes. So this would have been when I was 16. And we just used to go to Group X, and I used to love doing a class called Body Attack, which was basically aerobics. So I used to love doing Body Attack. That was my thing. Yeah, I just found it so fun. And I thought the instructor was an absolute rock star. I was like, oh my gosh, I really want to do that one day. That is so cool. And actually, exercise, it became a little bit deeper for me, I suppose, as I got older. So I just used to do it because I used to love doing, used to like moving, used to like dancing, the feeling after it. And because it was something that I was brought up to believe that you just do. You just keep fit. That's what happens. And that's something that I would want to instill into my children as well. That, this is a norm. This is what we do to be healthy. We exercise. It's true. And I went to university abroad, actually. And they used to do these classes that we did at home. And for me, it became an escape when things were really stressful. And also, I got really quite homesick, and it was that part of home that came with me. So it became a little bit deeper. And I realized that actually, I wasn't just exercising just to keep fit. I was actually exercising for my mental well being. And it really massively helped me and helped me cope with the stresses of, I guess, growing up, really. And then I found that it just helped. It helped me in so many ways, like physically, emotionally, mentally. I got into running a bit as well. So I did some half marathons, and I love running, still do love running. And I've done some marathons now. But it's so important, and I realize this as well, to be doing other things. So I was very much a cardio bunny, as you can probably tell how I've described everything, and didn't really see it as a workout if you weren't sweating until I started doing my training. So I thought that, this is amazing. Like, I really want to do this as a career one day. And I just thought I'd train up in one thing. So I trained up in one thing, which was insanity. And this is over 10 years ago now. And I just got the book, absolutely loved it. And the thing that kept me going back, it wasn't the whole, oh, being a group exercise instructor, you're like a rock star. It wasn't that. It was the fact that people come up to you and say, you don't realize how much you need that class today. Thank you so much. Or since I've been coming to your classes, I've managed to do X, Y, Z. When you actually see the impact and you feel the impact that you're making on other people, I was like, wow, I want to do this. I've always wanted to do something where I feel like I'm making a difference and feel like I've got a purpose. And this gave that to me in a way that I'd never, ever felt before. So I just started to do more qualifications on the side, and then I just built it up. And it became something so much more than fitness. And for me specifically, I needed to do more strength training, mobility, etc. I was starting to get some niggles here and there. And until I actually went through and did the training, so the strength training side of things, and I did my Pilates qualifications and yoga, that's when I really started to fall in love with it properly and actually see the benefit. When you're doing it on a regular basis and you see and you feel the benefit it has in everything else you do, like all of a sudden, my running improved. I was faster. I wasn't getting injured anymore. You feel it in your workouts. All of a sudden, I'm squatting deeper. I'm not waking up feeling achy. Actually, my mobility is really good. Or someone comments on your mobility. I went to like a massage therapist once. She's like, let's just have a look at your hip mobility. Wow. It's like, oh, I've never even thought about that. But it's just because you're doing all these other things on a regular basis. So it became so much more. And so for all of those reasons I've just said, sorry, well, there wasn't really much structure to what I've just said, was there? But anyway, for all of those reasons, having exercise there for your physical, yes, but also for the mental and emotional side of things, and for being, staying fit, staying strong for life, making it something that you just do. And also having that variety of cardio, strength, holistic, to make sure that your all-round fitness and well-being is good. You're a strong person. You're going to be able to excel in whatever sports that you want to do, or whatever classes you want to do. And it makes life easier. Like, just everything else in life feels easy. You don't even have to think, so if you go on holiday, I don't know whether I'm going to be able to do that trip because they're going up a hill, or I might have to do a few steps. No, think like that. I just go, I just do it because I've already got the fitness base there. And that is what I wanted to help other people get as well. Make fitness something you just do, something that you enjoy, something that fits in and around your lifestyle, and something that adds to your life. Rather than taking away from your life, it adds to your life. You get to work out, you get to work your strength, your heart, your flexibility. And so it's become more about how it makes me feel. And that's how I want everyone else to feel as well. Gosh, that was quite a deep answer, wasn't it? I hope you're still with me, by the way. That's my journey in a nutshell. And I really want exercise to be something, because I grew up in the 90s, and the 90s was all about, train harder and sweat it out and burn calories, all that rubbish. I just want people to exercise because it's something that makes them feel good, and not a way to punish their body, a way to actually respect and reward your body by moving your body, not a way to try and punish yourself, because it's not. We get to work out. It's a privilege, and we should totally use that and own it. Anyway, I feel like that's a good note to finish on, gang. So enjoy the rest of your day. Stay active, stay fit, stay well, and it'd be lovely to hear your feedback. If any of this has resonated with you, please do let me know, and I will see you online.